What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel, the boxing guru, and I'm here to explain how the WBC franchise works and why it was implemented. So, there's only been two franchise champions, WBC franchise champions, to my knowledge, and it's been Canelo at 160 and at 135, Vasily Lomachenko. So basically, this designation is only given to very special fighters according to the WBC. So Canelo obviously is #1 pound for pound, very big, very special fighter. So he was given this designation. And Vasily Lomachenko, multiple world championships, 2-time Olympic gold medal, obviously a special champion. That's why he was given this designation. So from the WBC's perspective is, when you're the champion, you get mandatories. So their perspective is, all right, when somebody's a really, really special fighter, do we really need to give them these mandatories? Or should we just give him this franchise designation and allow him to, fight who he wants, wherever he wants, without having to negotiate or pay step-aside money to their mandatory? Basically, that's their perspective. And they'll be like, and whoever the mandatory is, we can just give him a belt. Let him claim himself as a champion. His fights will be bigger because he'll have a belt, and casuals, once they see a belt, they're like, oh, that guy's a champion. Like, let's clap this guy. This guy's a big fighter and stuff like that. So that's pretty much their perspective. As far as from the fighter's perspective, a lot of people don't know you have to request to be a franchise champion. So they also like, hey, listen, I'd rather become franchise champion. That way I can fight whoever I want to fight. Like for Vasily Lomachenko's example is his mandatory was Devin Haney, who the fight wouldn't have been as big had he fought Teofimo Lopez. Had he fought and knocked out Devin Haney or knocked out Teofimo Lopez, he would have got more credit for knocking out Teofimo Lopez. Like Teofimo Lopez had beat, good lightweights. He beat Nakatani, he beat Magdaleno, he knocked out Richard Comey, and he had a real big buzz around him, and he had the IBF champion. So he was like, hey, listen, that's the only championship I don't got. Let me just request to be franchised. That way, that does away with Devin Haney, and I can fight, and I'll become undisputed. So that was his perspective. As far as from the WBC perspective, they go, listen, that guy won't have to fight Devin Haney because he doesn't want to. And we can just give Devin Haney a title, and we could double dip as far as sanctioning fees on both fighters. And that's where the problem I have with the WBC goes. You cannot have two champions in the same organization. It causes confusion. And yeah, maybe it'll attract casual fans because Devin Haney will be able to promote his fights as championship fights. And, and Teofimo Lopez, the winner of when he fought Lomachenko, can promote himself as undisputed, and we'll just double dip on sanctioning fees. And it's like, no. Like, you get one champion. That's the problem I have with the WBC. They want to have two champions. What I think is happening is they seeing the WBA get away with the super champion and the regular champion and double dip on sanctioning fees. And they see their way of working and they go, hey, listen, these guys got two champions. They're making a lot of money over here. Why we don't do that? So they just figured it out. Instead of calling it super and regular, they're just calling it franchise and I guess regular WBC champion. So it's just different wording. But I guess the WBC isn't as disgusting as the WBA because the WBA, they do this in every division basically. But the WBC goes, all right, let's just only do this when there's a really, really special fighter. That way he doesn't have to fight a mandatory. And again, we'll do what the WBA does. We'll have two champions and we'll collect two sanctioning fees. So like they're trying to be slick, but no, I'm exposing y'all. I'm letting people know what it is. This is not cool. This is not good for boxing. This causes confusion. And this is disrespect to more so the hardcore boxing fan, the boxing fan who knows about boxing, because a casual fan, if anything, they like this. They're like, oh, they'll watch a Devin Haney fight, let's just say, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is for, lightweight championship, as opposed to not knowing that all the controversy behind this and how he got that title and how he didn't have to fight for it, how he didn't necessarily beat nobody. You know, he, like, no disrespect to Devin Haney, he hasn't fought nobody. He hasn't beat anybody. Like, how are you a champion? You haven't beat anybody of note or you know, like you beat an old Gamboa. And, you know, I'm a Devin Haney fan. I like Devin Haney, but I'm just keeping it real. So basically, that's my opinion. That's the explanation on how the WBC franchise works. Definitely, if you like this video, hit a like, man. Give me a like, help me out. Comment if you have an opinion to say, whether it be negative or positive. They're both welcome. And follow me on Twitter @_BroadwayJoel. Follow me on Instagram @BroadwayJoel. Thanks, guys. Peace.